Hello viewers, again I am Dr. B.P. Pandey. We are going to study further the next part of our topic, that is thermodynamics. We had earlier discussed the first law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics, this was unable to predict whether the system in question can proceed spontaneously or not. The first law, this was unable to explain whether the process in question can proceed further spontaneously or not, or if so, in which direction. All these questions are answered in this second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics, firstly it was defined by Planck. Planck defined the law that in isothermal reversible cyclic process, heat can never be completely converted into work. Later, Clausius elaborated the second law of thermodynamics, and this definition is of worth mentioning. The definition of second law of thermodynamics as given by Clausius, this states that it is impossible for a self-acting machine unaided by some external agency to convey heat from a body at lower temperature to a body at higher temperature. That is, it is impossible for a self-acting machine unaided by some external agency to convey heat from a body at lower temperature to a body at higher temperature. In other words, this can be stated that heat cannot be transferred from cold to hot without using any external means. This is the gist of second law of thermodynamics, that is, by Planck, isothermal reversible cyclic process. In isothermal reversible cyclic process, it can never be completely converted into work. First, and it was more elaborated by the Clausius, who defined second law as it is impossible for a self-acting machine unaided by some external agency to convey heat from a body at lower temperature to a body at higher temperature. This is the statement of Clausius about second law of thermodynamics. Now, one of the important consequences of second law of thermodynamics is the concept of entropy. entropy is one of the consequences of second law of thermodynamics. It is thermodynamical state function. It is thermodynamical state function. The symbol of entropy is S, which is stated as ds is equal to Q reversible upon T. ds is the entropy change, Q reversible. It means that heat entering into the system reversibly, and T is the temperature in Kelvin. As is evident, ds is equal to Q reversible upon T. As is evident by this expression, if the value of Q reversible, this is more. Q reversible, if the value of Q reversible increases, then the value of ds will also increase. Similarly, lower will be the value of T, the value of entropy change, this will be higher. Here, Q reversible upon T. On this basis, we can derive the unit of entropy. This will be Jk inverse K inverse. This is the temperature is in Kelvin per mole. That is Jk inverse mole inverse. We will see further that if energy is supplied to a system, part of the energy is converted into useful work, which is available energy. Part of energy which is converted into useful work, this is available energy. And part of the energy, this is lost. This is mentioned as unavailable energy. Unavailable energy. Here, this entropy, this represents this unavailable energy. We will further see that this available energy, this will be called as free energy. This is free energy. And this unavailable energy, this is entropy. It means that the energy which is lost, which is not utilized, that is unavailable energy, this is called entropy. Entropy of the system. Then there is very much significance of this concept of entropy. As entropy is unavailable energy, this is also represented as measure of disorderness. Measure of disorderness. It means that more is the disorder, more is the entropy. If the substance is arranged in ordered way, then it will have less entropy. While if the molecules of the substance are arranged in disordered molecules will have higher entropy. Higher entropy. Now, see, on this basis we can see here, we can explain that gaseous molecules, they are disordered, more disordered form. Gaseous molecules are in more disordered form, while the molecules in liquid, they are relatively closer and will have less disorderness. Similarly, solid molecules are more arranged. That is, they have least disorder. It means that solid, they will have more arranged. They are more arranged. Hence, this state will have least entropy. Least entropy. Hence, if, let us see, H2O, this is liquid and this is converted into H2O, water vapor, that is gaseous state. What will happen? Entropy change. Entropy change means the entropy of the product minus entropy of the reactant. Entropy change, this is represented by del S. Entropy change, here this is S gaseous state minus S liquid state. We are seeing here that the gaseous state, here this has got more entropy. Gaseous molecules are more disordered and liquid molecules are less disordered. Hence, the difference of these two, the value of this S gas, this is more, and S liquid, this is less, then the difference of these two will be positive. It means that here the entropy change is positive. Now, if H2O, this is liquid, this is condensing to ice, solid, then what happens here? Here del S is equal to S solid minus S liquid. Here also the entropy value of entropy of this liquid state of H2O, this is more than that of solid state, and here also the value of entropy change, this will be positive. And what will happen if water vapor H2O gaseous state, this is condensing to liquid state? Then here entropy change, value of entropy change, what will happen here? S liquid minus S gaseous state, and here the value of this gaseous state entropy, gaseous state entropy, this is more and this is less. Then what will happen? Of these two differences, this will be negative. Hence, we can derive entropy change, this is whether positive or negative, if a substance changes its state from liquid to gas or liquid to solid or gas to liquid. Now, in a spontaneous process, we will further see two types of processes are there: spontaneous and non-spontaneous process. A spontaneous process, a spontaneous and non-spontaneous process. Non-spontaneous process. A spontaneous process. A spontaneous process, such processes which has the tendency to occur itself or by initiation. If we start the process, it has the tendency to get completed. Such type of process is called a spontaneous process. All the natural processes are a spontaneous process. Natural processes, once it starts, it has the tendency to get complete. All the natural processes hence natural processes are spontaneous process. The example of natural processes is rolling down of a stone from top of the hill. Once a stone starts to roll from the top of a hill, it will rest until it is reaching at the bottom. Rolling down of a stone from top of the hill. And second is cooling down of hot coffee, cup of coffee. You have nothing to do. It will itself cool down until its temperature goes up to the room temperature. So these processes are spontaneous process, and spontaneous processes, all the natural processes, they are spontaneous in nature, spontaneous process. And second process, this is non-spontaneous process. It means that non-spontaneous processes are such processes which does not have the tendency to occur by themselves. As for example, we are lifting a bucket of water through a stairs. Lifting a bucket of water through a stairs. It means that you will have to lift the bucket of water to carry it over stairs. So this is non-spontaneous process. It means that this process, which does not have the tendency to get completed by itself, this is called non-spontaneous process. Now, relation between this entropy and spontaneous and non-spontaneous process. As in a spontaneous process, if a stone rolls from top of a hill, what happens? It will disturb other stones which are in the path of that rolling stone. Hence, what will happen? The disorder will increase. And disorder will increase means what will happen? The entropy change, that will also go on increasing. Hence, in a spontaneous process, the entropy, there is increase in entropy. Mark here, in a spontaneous process, what happens? There is increase in entropy. It means that entropy change is positive. Increment in entropy. And in non-spontaneous process, the value of entropy change as non-spontaneous process is the other type of process, different process from a spontaneous process. Hence, in non-spontaneous process, there is decrease in entropy. That is, here entropy change, this is negative. You are not going to disturb anything, because you will lift the bucket of water from one place and will place it in another place. Hence, there is no entropy change in the system. This is non-spontaneous process, a spontaneous and non-spontaneous process. Now, free energy. Free energy we had mentioned here, just before we have mentioned here, that there is two types of energy. It means that if energy is entering into a system, it is sum of the energy, this is available energy, and sum of the energy, this is unavailable energy. We have discussed just now. Energy, this is available energy. Available energy. And this is unavailable energy. Unavailable energy means this will give you the value of entropy. Entropy is represented by S. And available energy, this is free energy. This is also known as Gibbs free energy. G or F. Its sign is G or F. Thermodynamically, the free energy F is equal to the thermodynamical expression. This is also a state function, and its expression is F is equal to H minus Ts. Here F is free energy, H is enthalpy, T the value of temperature, and S is entropy, value of entropy. H minus Ts. What is H here? This is heat content. This is heat content, and minus Ts. Ts is total entropy. Heat content minus total entropy. This gives you the value of available energy F is equal to H minus Ts. As this is a state function, this can be represented as dF is equal to dH minus T ds minus S dt. For isothermal process, temperature becomes constant. For isothermal process, temperature becomes constant. Then we can write it as dF is equal to dH minus T into ds. So this available energy, this is called free energy. And for isothermal process, its value is dF is equal to dH minus Tds, or you can write it as del F is equal to del H minus T into del S. If the difference of the quantity this is more, then we present this as in the form of this del, triangular del. Now, mark here. As we see here, this free energy and entropy, these both terms, thermodynamical terms, they are opposite to each other. It means that here free energy is available energy, while entropy is unavailable energy. Hence, for spontaneous, we can say, we can derive on the values of this free energy or entropy that whether a process is spontaneous or not. That is, here del S, this is del G, this is a spontaneous process, for a spontaneous process, and for non-spontaneous process. The value of del S for a spontaneous process, this is positive. We have discussed here. And this is for negative. And as this del G, this is opposite to del S, hence the value of del G in a spontaneous process, this is negative and this is positive. Hence, on the basis of the values of del S or del G, you can state whether the process is spontaneous or non-spontaneous.